The slap echoed through cell block C like a gunshot. Sound didn't just travel in Gaywater Correctional Facility. It lived there. It breathed inside the steel walls, soaked into the concrete, and wrapped itself around the women who survived inside it. But this sound was different. This wasn't just noise. This was a line being crossed. Heat bloomed across Maya Brooks' cheek, sharp and bright, before disappearing under careful breath control. She didn't move. She didn't gasp. She didn't blink. Trish Delgado's hand still hovered in the air between them, fingers slightly curled, like she wanted to feel the echo of what she'd just done. The women around them froze, halfway between laughter and disbelief. "Yo, she really hit her," someone whispered. Even the guards at the end of the corridor stopped pretending not to see. Trish leaned in close, breath hot with arrogance. "Welcome to Gaywater, Princess," Trish said with a crooked grin. "We don't do quiet in here." Maya slowly turned her head back toward her. The red mark on her cheek was already swelling. Her eyes lifted, steady and unreadable. Then she spoke. "That's your one free hit." The block fell silent. Not quiet, silent. The kind of silence that feels heavy in your chest. The kind that warns people something dangerous has just been born. But none of them knew who they were dealing with. None of them knew that before the gray walls, before the orange jumpsuit, before the number stamped where her name used to live, Maya Brooks had spent 20 years teaching police officers how to end fights before they began. None of them knew she had sworn never to raise her hands again. And none of them knew that her silence wasn't weakness. It was restraint. Before Gaywater, Maya's life smelled like pine oil and discipline. Her dojo sat 3 blocks from the ocean in Los Angeles, tucked between a barber shop and a laundromat. The floors were clean. The air was calm. The rules were simple. Every class ended the same way. A bow, a slow breath, a promise to never start a fight you don't have to finish. She taught cops to control without cruelty. Soldiers to de-escalate before damage. Women to walk home without shrinking. Power without noise, strength without ego. Then came the night that promise was tested. A woman stumbled into the dojo, bruised and shaking. Her breath was ragged, her hands trembling. Behind her, heavy footsteps hit the pavement. Her husband came through the door smelling like alcohol and rage. Maya stepped in between them, hands open, voice low and calm. "Please don't make me do this." He swung. Maya moved. One step, one redirection, one open palm. He fell wrong. Too fast, too hard, too final. He died before the sirens arrived. They called it manslaughter. Maya called it muscle memory. The court called it justice. And the same system she had trained for years wrapped her in iron and carried her to Gaywater Correctional Facility in Texas. Gaywater wasn't a prison. It was a food chain. At the top sat Trish Delgado. Trish was built like a storm cloud, wide shoulders, heavy fists, tattoos crawling down her arms like lightning frozen on skin. The guards called her cooperative. The inmates called her untouchable. Fear was the first currency anyone paid her in. She had Officer Clean bringing her cigarettes, extra food, favors exchanged behind doors that never officially opened. If you crossed Trish, you didn't get beaten. You got erased. Laundry went missing. Letters never mailed. Showers turned ice cold by accident. Control wasn't loud in Gaywater. It was quiet, organized, cruel. Maya saw it instantly. She read body language like a second language. The way Clean's eyes lingered too long. The way Trish's crew angled their bodies in doorways. The way silence moved through the block like a warning. Most women survived by choosing sides. Maya chose none. She worked, she read, she kept her peace like a locked door. And in Gaywater, neutrality wasn't safety. It was defiance. One afternoon in the laundry room, Steam climbed the walls like ghosts. Tasha Miller, a thin, twitchy 21-year-old with nervous hands, struggled to lift a soaking bag of clothes twice her size. The bag slipped. Fabric slapped wetly against the floor. Maya stepped forward without thinking. She lifted it with ease and placed it gently onto the cart. A habit, a kindness. But kindness in Gaywater was gasoline. From across the room, Trish watched, jaw tightening. "Looks like the new girl trying to play hero," one of her crew chuckled. Trish smiled, slow and cold. "Later," she said under her breath, "I'll introduce her to reality." That night, whispers moved through the block like smoke. The quiet one about to learn the rules. The peaceful one about to get tested. Maya sat on her bunk with her eyes closed, listening to the hum of fluorescent lights and distant voices. She had heard that rhythm before. Right before someone tested the limits of control. As the lights dimmed across cell block C, Maya exhaled slowly. She already knew. Tomorrow, someone would mistake her silence for surrender. And when that happened, Gaywater would learn the difference. Morning brought steam and tension. Laundry duty again. The room smelled like bleach, metal, and sweat. The machines hissed like secrets. Tasha worked beside Maya, humming nervously. From across the room, Trish leaned against a washer, watching. Officer Clean stood near the door, pretending not to see. The first shove was small. "Move faster, Sensei," Trish said as she bumped the cart. Maya didn't react. The second shove was harder, deliberate. Tasha whispered, "Just ignore her." Maya spoke calmly, "She's not my problem." The words carried. Trish stepped closer. "See, that's the thing about you quiet types," she said. "You think you above all this." Her fingers brushed a loose thread from Maya's sleeve, too gentle to be friendly. "You think you can come in here, fix people, make us look weak." Maya met her eyes. "I'm not here to fix anyone." "Good," Trish said. "Then you won't mind when I do this." The slap exploded through the room. Skin on skin, machine hums gone silent, even time itself seemed to pause. Maya's head turned slightly. She didn't blink. She didn't move. She didn't breathe fast. She simply absorbed it. Tasha gasped. One of Trish's crew whispered, "Yo, what did you just do?" Trish grinned wider. "I just taught a lesson." Maya exhaled slowly. And then she spoke the words that split the room in two. "That's your one free hit." The silence that followed was not empty. It was armed. It was waiting. It was alive. Mid-episode break, natural CTA. Hey my people, if this story got your heart beating a little faster, drop a like right now. Fam, if you feeling Maya's strength without the noise, comment where you watching from. And don't forget to subscribe to this storytelling family, because what about to happen next will shake everything you thought you understood about power. Now let's get back to Gaywater, because the real storm was just warming up. By nightfall, whispers ran through the block like wire. She didn't flinch. She told Trish that was her free hit. She either crazy or deadly. Trish lay on her bunk staring at the ceiling, jaw tight. For the first time since she claimed that block, she felt something new. Uncertainty. She'd seen fear before. She'd seen anger. But in Maya's eyes, she saw neither. She saw control. And control was dangerous. In a place built on chaos, a woman who could stand still after a slap was something the system couldn't predict. The lights flickered. Metal doors clanged. Maya lay on her bunk with her hands folded, breathing slow, steady, centered. She had said nothing else. She had done nothing else. And yet the prison felt different. Like something had shifted under the concrete. Because Trish now knew. The quiet woman wasn't weak. She was waiting. And tomorrow, she would test how real that strength was. But would Maya finally break her vow of silence? Or would her control destroy the power order of Gaywater forever? The answer would echo before sunrise. By morning, Cell Block C wasn't breathing normally. It was buzzing. Whispers ricocheted off concrete like invisible sparks. Voices dropped whenever Maya walked by. Eyes followed her steps, some wide with fear, others narrowed with curiosity. Delgado hit her. She didn't even blink. She told her that was her free hit. Maya walked through it all with quiet feet and level shoulders. She didn't look proud. She didn't look scared. She looked unchanged. Trish Delgado tried to laugh louder than the rest that morning. Too loud, too hard, like she was trying to drown out a thought she couldn't escape. In Gaywater, hierarchy ran on spectacle. Someone always had to bleed so others would behave. The guards liked it that way. It kept boredom profitable. That afternoon, a new transfer arrived. Her name Patch Reed, Rivera J. She was tall, sharp-eyed, and moved like someone who trusted nobody. Within an hour, she found Maya in the yard. "You the one Delgado slapped?" Rivera asked quietly. Maya nodded once. Rivera glanced up toward the guard towers, then leaned in closer. "You know why she did it?" Maya didn't answer. "Not personal," Rivera said. "It's money." Maya's jaw tightened slightly. "Stone Creek ran the same thing," Rivera continued. "Different guards, same setup. They moved me here after the last one got exposed." Maya finally looked at her. "Set up for what?" Rivera lowered her voice to a whisper that barely touched the air. "They filming." The word landed heavy. "Phones, GoPros, whatever they sneak in," Rivera said. "Guards run an underground fight ring. They bet cigarettes, drugs, straight cash. When a new inmate looks skilled, they poke her till she snaps." Maya's eyes narrowed. "You fight back," Rivera whispered. "They win twice. They get footage and they get control." Maya slowly looked toward the high, narrow mirror windows in the laundry room across the yard. She remembered the red blink she'd seen in the vent. "They already chose me," Maya said. Rivera nodded. "They think you're entertainment," she said, "but from what I heard, you different." That night, Cell Block C fell into its usual restless sleep. But Maya didn't. She sat on her bunk, staring at the ceiling, breathing slow and measured. For the first time since her conviction in Lowe's Angels, she felt it again. The old electricity. The pulse that came right before conflict. She hated it, but she understood it. They wanted a show. They were about to get a lesson. The next morning in the cafeteria, Maya sat across from Tasha Miller. Tasha took small bites, shoulders tense, eyes darting. "You still got that little phone?" Maya asked softly. Tasha froze. "Who told you that?" she whispered. "You just did," Maya replied calmly. Tasha swallowed hard. "Why?" "Bring it tonight," Maya said, quietly. Tasha nodded, nervous and loyal in a way that was dangerous in prison. That night during lights out, Tasha slipped the tiny contraband phone through the cell bars. Maya turned it on. She angled the lens toward the corridor mirror. From her bunk, the reflection gave her a view of the guard station straight across the block. She pressed record. The red dot blinked. Hours passed. At 2:11 a.m., footsteps moved down the hall. Trish's voice cut through the dim. "Tomorrow, yard time," Trish whispered. "Make it quick, make it bloody. She swings once, we all win." Officer Clean's voice answered. "Don't kill her," he said. "Just make it good for the tape." Footsteps faded. Keys jangled. Laughter disappeared into shadows. Maya didn't move. She didn't blink. But the phone kept recording. Evidence. When morning came, she slipped the phone back to Tasha. "If I'm not back in 2 days," Maya said quietly, Give this to the volunteer tutor. Name's Vivian Grant. Tasha's eyes filled with fear. You planning something? She asked. Maya looked toward the fence line in the yard, where metal glinted under pale Texas sunlight. Not planning, she said softly. Preparing. Mid-episode break, natural CTA. Hey my people, if this plot got you leaning closer to the screen, drop a like right now. Fam, if you feeling the tension building, comment where you watching from. And don't forget to subscribe to join this storytelling family, because what's about to happen in the prison yard will change everything. Now let's get back to Maya, because the trap was already being set. By noon, the guards had gathered like spectators pretending to be bored. The fence line hummed. The towers blinked. Phones hid inside sleeves. Officer Clean leaned casually against the chain link, arms folded like this was just another afternoon. Trish's crew fanned out across the yard in a loose circle. Predators pretending to stretch. Maya walked the perimeter with her hands behind her back, measuring each step. She counted breaths like she used to teach others. In through the nose. Out through memory. The sky pressed low and gray. The air felt heavy. Trish strutted in like she owned sunlight. Morning, Sensei, she called. You ready for round 2? Maya didn't answer. Didn't look up. Nothing starves a bully faster than silence. The crowd tightened. Hidden red lights blinked. Clean whispered into his radio, "We're live." Trish stepped closer. You got a mouth for someone who don't use it, she said. Her first shove came hard. Maya stepped back once. The second shove came harder. Maya stayed balanced. Then Trish swung. Wild, wide, built for show. That's when Maya moved. It didn't look like a fight. It looked like science. One pivot. One breath. Trish's momentum met empty air. Maya's palm touched her shoulder and redirected everything. Trish hit the ground. Not smashed, not humiliated. Controlled. Gasps spread across the yard. Metal clanged. Even the guards froze. Trish scrambled back up, roaring. Lucky hit. She charged again. Faster. Maya waited. Then shifted left. A smooth step. She caught Trish's wrist. Twist, pull, turn. A clean takedown born from decades of discipline. Trish hit the dirt hard. Maya didn't pounce. She didn't gloat. She stood over her and spoke quietly. You're done. The yard froze. No one spoke. Even the cameras felt scared to blink. Maya stepped back, palms open so everyone could see. Control. Not conquest. I told you, she said softly, one free hit. Then she bowed, not for Trish, but for the danger. Silence hung thick. And then something changed. Maya's eyes flicked to Officer Clean's wrist. A tattoo. Skull and dagger. Her stomach went cold. She had seen that symbol before. In Lowe's Angels. On the wrist of the officer who arrested her years ago. She lifted her chin. How long you been doing this, Clean? His smile disappeared. Watch your mouth, inmate, he said, but his voice cracked. The yard heard. Phones caught it. Trish, still in the dirt, groaned. You said you'd stop her. Clean snapped, shut up. Too late. The truth had oxygen now. Dozens of phones recorded everything. Not just the fight. The corruption. The cracks in the system. By the gate, Vivian Grant stood with her clipboard, pretending to check names. She wasn't checking names. She was recording. The takedown. The tattoo. The unraveling. Clean rushed toward her. Give me that camera. Vivian looked him straight in the eye. You've had enough cameras for one lifetime." The siren screamed. Guards shouted. Inmates erupted. Maya didn't run. She didn't hide. She just stood there, breathing slow. Balanced. Cuffed again. But this time, the cuffs felt different. Because the footage was already uploading. And the world was about to see Gaywater's real face. But as Maya was led away, one thought cut through her calm. If the system was connected from Los Angeles to Texas, how far did this network really go? The answer was closer than she imagined.